Hey guys, let's talk about my stats. So if you're from my college decision reaction video, you saw the colleges that I was admitted to, and a lot of you guys asked for a stats video. In this video, we're just going to be going through my GPA, my AP scores, my SAT score, my ACT score, and a couple of other things that I think were contributing statistics towards my college application altogether. A little bit of background, I grew up in Prince George's County, Maryland. I'm right on the outside of Washington, D.C. I attended Eleanor Roosevelt High School. I applied as both an Asian and white student because I am half white, half Asian, Filipino. I did submit my test scores. I submitted my SAT score for 3 universities and my ACT score for the rest. And I used the common application except for the schools Georgetown, all the UCs that I applied to, and the University of Alabama. If you're wondering about my background, I'm on vacation at Virginia Beach, so I'm using the beachfront as my lighting, but that's why I'm in a hotel room. This is not my room. So the schools that I was admitted to were Harvard, Stanford, Princeton, UPenn, Georgetown, NYU, Duke, UC Berkeley, UCLA, American, USC, UVA, McDaniel, UMBC, UMD, UMich, Alabama, and UNC Chapel Hill. I didn't rank those in any order. Those were just the schools that I was admitted to. And I hope that this video can provide you some guidance if you're looking to apply to any of the same schools. And for the sake of transparency, I was rejected from Yale, I was waitlisted at Columbia, and waitlisted then rejected at the University of Chicago. I did not stay on the waitlist at Columbia. So let's get started. I applied as a political science major with an eventual concentration in going into law school. So I have my little iPad with all the courses that I took and the grades that I got in all of them. And I want to preface this by saying that I was the salutatorian of my high school, so I was ranked 2 out of around 500, 600 kids. P.S. I went to the second largest high school in the state of Maryland. So taking high school classes did not start in high school for me. In the 7th grade, I took Algebra 1 and Geometry, and I received an A on both. In 8th grade, I took Algebra 2. Then my freshman year was when we started getting weighted GPA, so I will go through that and I will tell you all the classes that I took. Keep in mind, many of my classes were geared around science and technology, so you will see a lot of that because I did go to a STEM magnet school. They did not have a track for government, political science, etc. We had to take a certain amount of science APs and science classes, so that's why you see an abundance of them, which you otherwise might not see in someone who's going into a humanities field such as me. My freshman year, I took United States History, English 9 honors, Biology honors, Trigonometry, Latin 1, Technology, Health, and PE. And the grades are here on the left. I received a 4.2 GPA my freshman year. My sophomore year, I took Pre-Calculus, Latin 2, AP Government, Engineering, Chemistry honors, English 10 honors, Anatomy and Physiology, and Microbiology. And I also received an A in all of those classes. My junior year was the COVID year, so our 4th quarter was pass-fail, so keep that in mind, but the final grades here are averaged based off the 4 quarters. Our schools did something a little bit different, where if we passed our 4th quarter, we added an additional 3 points to the final grade. That was if we passed every single class. The only class I did not pass in the 4th quarter was Latin 3. But it wasn't a pass-fail, actually. It was pass-incomplete. So I took AP Chemistry, I took World History honors, I took AP Calc BC, Latin 3, Physics honors, AP Lang, and AP Computer Science Principles. And again, I got an A in all of those classes. My GPA by the end of my junior year, not cumulative, but yearly GPA, was a 4.7. And then my senior year, I entered my senior year taking a pretty equivalent amount of course load. This was a fully online year until about April of 2021. Then we returned into the building if we would like to. But I will say that we picked all of these classes before we went into COVID. So we picked these classes around February of 2020. I took AP Statistics, Organic Chemistry honors, AP Biology, AP Literature, Journalism, AP Psychology, and then Research Practicum, which is a little bit like AP Research, except we don't take an AP exam. So it's weighted as an AP, but this project is just so we can graduate as a science and technology member within my county. So my senior year, I finished with a GPA of 4.8. By the time my high school career was over, I graduated as the salutatorian, ranked 2 in the class, 4.47 weighted GPA, 4.0 unweighted GPA. Now on to my test scores. So test scores are a little bit of a tricky topic. I will say that for some schools, you definitely should be submitting a score, and other ones you probably don't have to if you're class of 2022. For the other classes, if you're watching this video later down the line, if you're watching this in 3 years from now, I'm sure you have to submit scores, assuming that things do go back to normal. So this probably won't apply to you, but I will say that if you are class of 2022, take a close look at the admitted students profile. I know Georgetown University, 93% of their admitted students in the early round submitted test scores. So I want you to keep that in mind. Some schools, while they say they are test optional and you, yes, can submit an application without a test score, it doesn't mean you have an equal chance of being admitted. So the test scores that I received, I took both the SAT and the ACT in December of 2019. I took them 1 week apart. I did not study for either. I had planned on taking them again. The state of Maryland was very conscientious with COVID. We did not have any exams. I would have had to drive to the state of Virginia to retake them, so I decided I'm just going to submit what I have. I received a 1480 on the SAT, a 710 in reading, and a 770 in math. On the ACT, I received a 34. I got a 35 in English, a 35 in math, a 34 in reading, and a 30 in science. So it was barely a 34. But the ACT I submitted to the majority of my colleges, I was much more confident in the ACT score because I saw the distributed averages. It was usually 1500 plus, 34 plus when I looked at a lot of the scores. So I decided that 34 would look incrementally better. Other test scores, my AP exams, I took 5 AP exams for my college applications, which they received all of the scores. I did not withhold any AP scores from any school. I took AP Government, AP Lang, AP Chemistry, AP Computer Science Principles, and AP Calc BC. I received a 5 on Gov, a 5 on Lang, a 3 on Chemistry, a 3 on Computer Science, and a 3 on Calc BC. I did not receive an AB subscore because during the COVID year, there were no subscores. So that's it for my courses and my test scores. And for the common application, I guess I will include this in my statistics, my awards and honors. Now, I was not the student who received nationally recognized awards. I did not have anything major from any types of organizations. I didn't compete or win anything in our school's science fair. So what I got for my awards and honors, what I put down were essentially things that were school related. My first award and honor was National Honor Society. I did not include that in the extracurriculars. That was just something that I deemed to be an award and honor. Then I received a National Latin exam, silver medalist. I scored, I guess, in the maxima cum laude section. So that's where I received my award. That was from the NLE. I received the AP Scholar with Distinction Award in the last year that they provided it, which was in 2020. The Principal's Honor Roll, which is just given to students who receive straight A's each quarter, and I was on that, so I put that on there. And my 5th one was Latin Honor Society. Now, in some of my applications, I did switch it around. Instead of Latin Honor Society, I included Science National Honor Society. Either way, it was just an honor society. Again, I did not have any nationally recognized awards. The only one was the NLE, and that wasn't even some type of major award. Thousands of students get it across the country. So beyond that, there wasn't much else that I included into my application. Outside of the extracurriculars, that was, how should I put it, I guess groundbreaking or monumentous. There were no dramatically major awards, and I just want you to understand that because you don't need them. I really don't think that this is something that you need to be stressing over because I know I was, and it ended up working out for me. So I'm sure, as you could tell from my statistics, that I didn't have perfect test scores, but I'm not going to lie to you, they were in the 99th percentile. My scores were adequate. But if you don't feel comfortable submitting your score, don't do it. Plenty of my friends, in fact, I would say the majority of the people from my high school who were admitted to T20s, specifically T10s, Ivy League schools, they did not submit test scores. It was very difficult for people in my area to get test scores. I missed the SAT school day a week before COVID hit. Had I not taken it in December of 2019, and had I not been provided with that opportunity to take the ACT, because it was actually part of a study, it wasn't some routine ACT exam, it was a part of this computer versus paper exam. But point being that had I not taken that SAT, I absolutely would have gone test optional. And do I think my results would have been the same? I don't think the exact same, but a lot of these schools probably would have taken me anyway, I think. I don't think my test scores were the sole determining factor as to why I was admitted. I think they just added something to my application. I know many people who did submit and did not submit test scores, and it ended up going opposite directions, but test optional is 100% a viable option if you want it. But if you are confident with your score, if it's around 50th percentile plus for the school, I would 100% submit it. They're not going to say, oh, this student didn't provide us with the best test score if it's already within their 50th to 100th percentile. But I do also want to point out that when you're looking at my courses, I did not take many advanced places history classes. I only took one, and that was United States Government and Politics. I took AP Psychology, and then I took honors US History and honors World History. You do not need to take an over excessive amount of humanities courses in high school if you want to do that in college. I was very clear on every single one of my applications that I wanted to go into government. I wanted to go into political science. I did not care much about sciences. I did not care much about mathematics, yet I was taking math classes in the 7th grade. I was taking organic chemistry my senior year. So these colleges probably don't care much, I think, about the classes that you take in terms of how specific they are to your major, because my school frankly did not allow us to take AP US history. We don't even offer that class. We don't offer AP micro or macroeconomics. We don't offer a lot of these things that other schools might. So they will keep that in mind. In addition, I think that your courses won't always closely align with your intended major because high schools have core curriculums. Every high school is different. Some schools will require you to take AP US history. Other schools might require you to take AP biology, such as my school, if you're on that track. It really just depends on where you go to school, and I'm sure that college admissions officers will keep that in mind. Don't stress about stuff like this. Your stats are your stats, and once they're in, it's just a number at that point. We also did not rank our class. The only way I knew my class rank was because I was the salutatorian. I did not find that out until 2 weeks before graduation. I kid you not, 2 weeks before graduation, that's when we found out. So for my college application, they didn't know my rank. The counselors did not release our ranks to the university. So for all they knew, we just didn't rank because we don't rank. The only way I knew is because the top 2 find out. Other than that, everyone is completely left in the dark and they don't even provide it on the final transcript. So in my next video, I'm gonna go ahead and try to dabble into my extracurricular activities. I think that would provide even more insight into my college application journey. In the future, I will be making school-specific videos talking about my application, more specifically my supplementals and what that meant for the application itself. I really think that it will be helpful for many of you guys. If you do need more insight about specific schools, if you have any specific questions, you can drop them down below or reach out to me on any of the social media listed right here. I would love to get back to you. Just shoot me over a message and I will try to respond as quick as possible. Anyways, don't stress out too much. This college application season is going to go by very, very fast. You will be fine, I promise. It's going to be okay. You know, not everything is going to work out the way that you would like it to. You have to take risks too. If you are someone who needs a lot of financial aid to attend college, I would also 100% recommend applying to the Ivy League schools. The most money I received were from Ivy League schools to a point where they were cheaper than the University of Maryland, and I was an in-state student. So I really want you guys to understand that a lot of these private institutions will give you a lot of money if you need it. And sometimes they do have tricky brackets. I received a lot of money from Ivy League schools and Stanford, but then I did not receive a lot from schools such as NYU and Georgetown. It makes sense because they do have smaller endowments and also lesser of a financial aid expectation on their behalf. But I will say that if you are someone who is expecting financial aid for college and you are fine applying to these Ivies, because these supplements really aren't that difficult, they aren't that hard to do, go ahead and apply. Many of them have fee waivers. I applied to Harvard for free. You can get it done and you might get lucky. I mean, a lot of this is just a luck of the draw type situation. I mean, I couldn't explain to you why I was rejected from Yale but admitted to Harvard with the same type of application. The only thing that deferred were the essays, but even then, actually, I had given them a shorter version of my Harvard main essay. So it really all depends on the school itself. Sometimes you might get lucky, sometimes you not get lucky, but I do want you guys to understand, don't stress out too much and don't take these stats to heart, and reach out to me if you need help. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure to go ahead and ask any questions that you want down below and provide, I guess, suggestions for my future videos. I'm gonna do extracurriculars and I'm not entirely sure what I want to do after that besides the school specific videos. So if you have any questions, I'm gonna go ahead and respond to those. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, turn on the post notification. I don't post that often, so I won't be spamming your feed, but I will say that if you are a prospective applicant to any of the schools that I was admitted to, I would suggest that you do stick around for future videos, because I will try to provide individual insight to each and every one of those schools, because I really want to help you guys in any way that I can, and I'm glad that you guys are here. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.